back to meeting our inspirations for the children in Ella. And this week we are highlighting Clark. Clark is an adorable young lad who loves superheroes, and he is based off of one of my best friends in the world. Has been one of my best friends since high school. My friend Eric. Eric, how are you doing?
Hi,
How you
I'm
doing?
all right.
That's good. 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 Um, so you're looking at the picture I just sent you right now, the
hmm
character of Clark. So my first question I usually ask is, what do you think of the character design? How do you like the look of the character?
it's weirding me out a little because it looks like me when I was a kid.
I mean, well, I took a picture of you as a kid and sent it to my illustrator. So I mean, it's like the exact glasses you used to wear.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is.
Which, just saying, you should bring them back. I love big glasses, obviously.
Oh no, I'm not bringing that back. I
You don't
hated
like
that
the?
look.
Oh,
No,
I love
I
big
looked
chunky
ridiculous
glasses.
at that in that.
I disagree. You
Fair enough.
look at your character. Look, he is wonderful. I love him. Oh, I urge you to reconsider, my friend. um. So yeah. So what about the character design do you like? I know it's a little weird. It's like, oh look, it's little me.
Yeah,
With like the aesthetic of the character, the outfit.
well, I love the cape. That's
Hmm.
definitely a nice touch.
Did you notice what the character's name is?
Yes, Clark.
Yeah.
Clark Kent. I'm
Yeah.
assuming is what
Is
that's
it
an homage
Clark
to.
Kent? That
Of
is an
course,
homage to
yes.
Batman. Even though your favorite is Batman.
It is, yeah, but like many people have told me, I have kind of a Clark Kent or Peter Parker type vibe about me.
Yeah.
The sort of
Yeah.
quiet, like nebbishy nerd type guy.
Yeah. Um. So my next question is so, and I should preface this by saying, like you, Clark loves superheroes. The conceit in the show is that fairness is Clark's primary motivator, and as such, he loves superheroes because they're fair and they help people. And so he tries to be a good helper. I know that you and I both, one of the things we bonded over when we first met is our love of comics. And so my question is, why do you, Eric, love superheroes?
A lot of reasons. I mean, I love just the larger than life aspect of them, the fantasy elements, how like pretty much anything can happen in a superhero comic. Like the imagination just runs free in this like crazy mishmash of fantasy, sci-fi, adventure, horror, just anything you can throw in there. Like you were saying, I love like their sense of compassion and desire to help people. It's sort of like it's a little bit of wish fulfillment, I think, because so often in real life, there is no fairness and good people suffer. And I love the idea of like just a bigger than life hero that can swoop in and save the day and whatnot, and fight the forces of evil. It's a nice, like, I enjoyed like the escapism aspect of it, of, a hero that can, will always triumph over adversity. And it's sort of, it can inspire people in real life to be like that and try to achieve good things with the abilities that they're given within their own life.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the evolution of that for me in more recent years is seeing characters that represent different cultures and gender identities and sexual like, orientations. Seeing that like anybody can wear the cape. In
Hmm.
fact, there's the episode that really features Clark in the first season is about him learning that anybody can wear the cape. He's only been introduced to Cosmic Guy, who is the fictional superhero. Pardon me, superhero in this world. that he looks up to, the comic book character that he follows. And uh, the other kids want to wear cape. He's like, well, no, as I look like Cosmic Guy, you don't look like Cosmic Guy. And then Ella's Papa like to us, but like all the other heroes that he hasn't heard about. So I have a whole pantheon of like made up superheroes for them to follow. And he explains like, oh, there's all these other characters, um, and this character is black, and this character is black woman, and this character is Muslim, and this character is Latinx, and there's characters across all spectrums. And so then Clark goes home, and he's like, because fairness is his primary motivator. He's like, what have I done?
What have I become?
And goes home and has his mom help him, and he makes capes for all the kids so that they can all be superheroes together. And they're, I was thinking I might even do a little like, there might be like a little like recurring um World of Imagination segment where you see them as like a baby Justice League type of thing, to show them in more fantastical settings and things like that. Could be really fun. My last question for you. Um, I feel like both you and I mean, we both still watch cartoons. We have toys. We love,
Mhm.
things that a lot of adults tend to forget about, as they get older. I feel like, another reason why we're so close is that both you and I have this like, uh, we still have our play, like you're right, like our imagination, our sense of play.
Mhm.
Um,
Sense of childlike wonder.
yeah, yeah. And I guess my last question is, how do you how do you hold on to that? Because I know for me, sometimes it is it feels hard. It feels as if like society wants me to not value anything that's childlike, and I try to see the value in that. I think the world perspective of a child, it, can often be much more profound than that of an adult. And I find like a lot of the content um, I connect to it when it's from the POV of children. Like you recently watched Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Mhm.
right? I know that's made by adults, but it's one thing by adults that still have that childlike sense of wonder, and can create compelling characters that are children. So for you, like, how have you held on to that childlike sense of wonder?
It's something I've kind of struggled with a lot over the years, just because, like you were saying, society has so many expectations, and people, I think like people get prejudged if they like, childish things, like, oh, you're got like a Peter Pan complex, you refuse to grow up, you still like cartoons and comic books, and you're not living in the real world and whatnot. So like I've definitely struggled with that. I think ultimately what it comes down to for me is that like life is too short. Like just love what you love. If that's what inspires you, if that's what fires your imagination, like that's something you should embrace. If you can still cling to that sense of wonder, that sense of joy that you get from something, like there's nothing wrong with that. Like you shouldn't be shamed for enjoying something if it doesn't cause any harm to someone else. So that's kind of how I have clung to it. And for me personally, I've had a very rough few years lately, with a lot of loss and a lot of just personal setbacks. And I think it provides a sense of comfort to have like these very joyful, very like positive and uplifting stories that I can turn to when I myself am struggling in the real world. Like this kind of gives me the inspiration to go on, and to, like I said earlier, to aspire to be like the heroes in these stories and find that inner strength within myself.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with that, for sure. It's been a tough few years, for you, for me as well. and I feel like artists get it too, right? It's like in that in that dream space, anything is possible.
Hmm.
You know, sometimes it's you can get to that space. It's like the zone. Have you seen Soul yet?
Yes, I have.
You know, when you get into the zone, sometimes you can get into that zone by consuming media. Sometimes you get into that zone by creation of a thing. And when you're in that zone, where you're in that creation space, in that dream space, like anything is possible.
Yeah,
You know, for me, you know, getting into that space and creating this show gives me a way to connect with the child that I lost. You know, and my cousin that I lost. Right, Mars is based on my cousin. Uh, you know, in that imaginative space, you know, I think it needs to be done responsibly, right? You don't want to lose yourself in that space, but you know, there there are ways that you can connect, and I think that that's really powerful, you know.
I
So
agree. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm
so
still working on finding that balance between uh, drawing from the strengths of that space and then kind of losing yourself in it. I feel like I
yeah,
lean a bit too far in the losing yourself direction sometimes, but you know, it is a good thing to have to draw that inner strength from, I think.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I want to thank you so much for being my guest this week. And I'm really happy that I could base a character off of you.
Well, I'm very honored.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
Well, you know, we've played together for for so long. I couldn't imagine, you know, a character based off of you not being in this show that is very much about play and wonder. So, yeah, thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.